their agents are nevertheless unable to pass through them. This is not the case for the Global Occult Coalition employees. Even so, members of the GOC did not exactly remain in the library for long. Most of them were killed immediately. Only a handful were sent away unharmed by the anomalous entities there.
Alright, we're back with another SCP animation, and this one's the Chaos Insurgency, the Serpent's Hand, the Global Occult Coalition, and this is by Detective Void. This one should be easier to follow because it's animated, and you know, I just want to see like the main, I guess these are the main groups in SCP Foundation, SCP World. I watched a video about the GOC, but I don't know anything about the Serpent's Hands or the Chaos Insurgency. So we're pretty much gonna learn, maybe, or misinformed, depends on this video. But yeah, let's start. Okay, give me a sec. Shouldn't be as loud, should be fine. Detective Void.
When an anomalous object makes its first appearance, the SCP Foundation agent asks, "What is this?"
Oh, it is a good animation.
The Chaos Insurgency group
Good
thinks
art.
to himself, "How can I use this to my advantage?"
That was,
An
what was
employee
that?
of the Global Occult Coalition, "How can we destroy it?" And the Serpent's Hand simply sympathizes with the object's disposition and wishes to set it free.
Set
This
it
is
free.
primarily why these organizations
I mean, you
operate
can set some
separately and are even,
free, but
in some
not all of
cases,
them.
enemies. The more their fundamental approaches differ in nature, the bloodier and more violent their
Now,
conflicts can become. It is
this is a
true
little
that the
different than
Foundation is
SCP Foundation,
responsible for
right?
creating some of its enemies.
Compared to GOC.
Back in 1924, the O5 Council
I feel like GOC and SCP Foundations are a lot the same when it comes to how things run. Their goal is different, but their structure is pretty much the same, huh? Now we'll see if the Chaos Insurgency or the Serpent's Hands gonna be different.
Council created a group of Alpha 1 fighters known as the Insurgency.
The
Only
Insurgency.
the O5 Council knew what its true purpose was. For everyone else,
Wait, Chaos
a story
Insurgency
had
is
been made
part
up
of
instead. As the legend goes,
Is it
these
part
are
of
rebels,
SCP
a
Foundation?
breakoff from the Foundation, who rebelled against the
No, oh,
organization.
they
The
rebel,
reality
okay.
was that the insurgents existed to do all the unethical work, something the Foundation could not afford to admit involvement in, of course. These are
So
such
they're like the
activities as
grunts of
massacres,
SCP
acts of
Foundation
terror,
and they rebel?
robberies, and etc. Generally speaking,
Yeah, they do the dirty work, huh?
damaged the reputation of the Foundation, but was at the same time necessary nonetheless. However, after 24 years of such work, the insurgents could no longer simply shrug off the role they played. During Operation Rebels,
They're
in
tired of being the bad
1948,
guys.
several anomalous objects were kidnapped. Furthermore, they forced some of the organization's researchers to desert and join them. That same day, they conducted several bold strikes on Foundation facilities. They also added the word chaos to their name, becoming bitter enemies of the very
Chaos.
organization
That's their
created
logo?
them. This turn
Look
of
like
events
a-
took the members of the O5
look like
Council by
a
surprise
car
more
rims.
than all the anomalous objects put together. Alpha 1, from which the Chaos Insurgency was born, had exceptionally dedicated employees in its ranks. In an effort to save
Who they got?
the Foundation still maintains the myth that the rebels broke
I like the
away from
animation
them
in
back
this one.
1924. After
Compared to
leaving,
Dr.
Chaos Insurgency
Bob, or is it
formulated an
Dr. Bob?
organizational structure akin to that of the Foundation.
This one's decent.
In
I
place
mean,
of the
when it
O5 Council,
Yeah.
they created the Delta Command. The Gamma class comprises of military commanders and scientists who oversee the carrying out of orders issued by the Delta Command. The bulk of the work is performed by the Beta class, and the job types typically given to the D class in the Foundation are, in this case, performed by the Alpha class. The true motives
What?
of the Delta Command were kept secret from all subordinate personnel. The research department receives one set of instructions, and the military department receives its own set. Neither one has any idea of what the other has been tasked out to do. However, the officially released public policy
got their own
given by
branches
the
too.
insurgents states that they intend to build a utopian future with the help of anomalies. The Serpent's Hand would most likely support this idea, but only on the condition that sentient anomalous humanoids would not suffer. As a matter of fact, there
So
are
the
some
Chaos
members of the
Insurgency
organization
wants
that
to
are
use the
themselves anomalous
SCPs
humanoid beings. So far,
as
the
weapons?
Foundation has identified approximately 177 individuals who are members within the Serpent's Hand group. The leader of this organization is simply known as
Serpent's
LS.
hands.
These initials were initially discovered in a note at the site of SCP-268's disappearance. This is a tweed invisibility cap. However, it does not render a person unseen in the traditional sense. When the cap is worn, the people around begin
Go
ignoring
invisible?
the person. They
Or
take
they
the
just
presence
ignore
of
you?
this person for granted, and subsequently remember practically nothing about the subject. As a result, LS could safely leave her area while wearing the cap.
That's a good
Although how she
infiltration
got
weapon
there in
right
the first
there.
place still remains a mystery. Perhaps she'd been wearing a similar headdress, as well as her companions. The second raid on the Foundation premises was in
Perhaps.
order to utilize SCP-914, which is an enormous, heavy clock-like instrument. If you place an object in it, the mechanism inside will somehow improve it. These improvements
Improve
depend,
it.
however, on the different modes that can be set,
How-
such
how-
as coarse or fine. The improvements done on the rough setting are oftentimes worse off than the original. What exactly the Serpent's Hand intends to improve with this is still unknown. In connection with this, they also removed SCP-407, the Song
So
of
the-
Genesis,
could they just
which
come
was
and
written
go
in an unknown language.
inside SCP
Playing this song can lead
facilities?
to a large growth of living
'Cause they have
cells
them
within
hacks.
earshot. Listening to the song can prove useful for the span of 1 minute. The subject will recover from any indulged diseases, save for cancer. Following this, the cell growth
I
gets out
guess
of
music
hand.
heals, huh?
Both people and animals become covered all over with strange growths. Bacteria and fungi also develop on them rapidly. all
Never
of which
mind.
can result in death. It's allegedly for this reason that LS made a note saying that the Foundation would be grateful to her for destroying the song. And now let's take a closer look at LS. According to the unspecified information, these initials stand for Little Sister. This is how the Black Queens refer to each other. The Black Queen, or Allison Cho, exists in all dimensions. In every world, they differ from one another, have different goals and objectives, and are not always aware of the other Black Queens that exist. All these queens are the daughters of one Dr. Gears. In each universe, he appears differently. Gears might be a robot, some kind of anomalous artifact, or a person
I don't know
completely
anything
devoid
about
of any
Dr.
emotion.
Gears.
In practically all dimensions, the Black Queen seeks to locate Gears in order to save and
I'm
protect him.
assuming
The
he's
Black
part of the
Queens employ the
SCP
Wanderer's
also?
Library to move
The
between
SCP
worlds.
Foundation?
Many Black Queens
Like
gather
Dr.
together
Bright?
here, as well as the remaining members of the Serpent's Hand. The Wanderer's Library is an extra-dimensional space. All throughout the planet are the Ways portals that lead to the Wanderer's Library. Getting there, however, is no simple task. Some kind of anomalous influence is necessary. Although the Foundation does know of the overwhelming majority of these portals, their agents are nevertheless unable to pass through them. This is not the case for the Global Occult Coalition employees. Even so, members of the GOC did not exactly remain in the library for long. Most of them were killed immediately. Only a handful were sent away unharmed by the anomalous entities there. The Serpent's Hand is just as hostile towards the Foundation, but with somewhat less hatred than the Global Occult Coalition. The Foundation has earned a certain loyalty from the Serpent's Hand due to the fact that it contains the paranormal and does not seek to destroy, unlike the Global Occult Coalition. From
So
Hand-
the Serpent's Hands, was it? Yeah, Serpent's Hands. They want to free. They're the one that wants to free the SCP, right? Like the SCPs. Okay, and then the Chaos Insurgency wants to use the SCPs, and the GOC wants to destroy the SCPs. That's good that they have like different goals. And I'm assuming that. Yeah, never mind. We're good. We're
Hand
good.
perspective, anomalies are just another part of the world that must be learned, accepted, and understood by humanity.
I don't know about
On
that,
the other
bro.
hand, the Global Occult Coalition has a completely different
There are
view of
SCPs
things.
that will destroy
They're
the
convinced
world,
that
man.
anomalous objects
Many
are a threat
SCP
to the
that can
human
destroy the
race,
world.
and therefore they must be eliminated. And if
Makes
these
sense.
efforts are unfruitful, then at least prevent the widespread knowledge of the anomalous, since it's necessary to protect humanity at all costs. There is a UN coalition that's partly run by this organization. The general director of the coalition is currently one DC Alfine, although the real power actually rests with the Council of 108. This body
108?
includes the leaders of the
Is that
most
the
well-known
05
occult
Council of GOC?
organizations around the globe, to include the Bavarian Illuminati, servants of the Silicon Nornir, and even the World Para-Health Organization, which combats anomalous diseases. The Council of 108 is subordinate to the High Command, which oversees and directs the following of three main divisions. Physics, which deals with the physical destruction of anomalies. Psyche, which establishes diplomatic peace if destruction is not an option. And Ptolemy, which equips and outfits all departments. The Global Occult Coalition came together following the end of the Seventh Occult War, which took place parallel with the Second World War. As a matter of fact, the Seventh Occult War was largely what set off World War II, and many of the main battles were fought specifically on an anomalous front. After both wars came to an end, the leaders of different governments created the United Nations in order to maintain peace among the people, and the Global Occult Coalition in order to maintain peace with forces of a different nature and origin. Since the government's use of anomalies in the past has always led to conflict and disasters, the Global Occult Coalition has been making efforts to suppress such activity since its inception in 1946. Having said that, governments do not necessarily always abide by this rule. And so, there was the McCarthy-Truman UFO scandal of 1951. The Americans wanted to use paranormal technology for military purposes. The Coalition succeeded in stopping them, but tensions between the US and the Coalition increased significantly thereafter. Any kind of contact with another organization, namely when involving anomalies, has specific protocols to it. The most stringent procedures are set in relation to the Serpent's Hand, since the Coalition views them as terrorists. Every encounter with the Serpent's Hand has always led to heavy losses on the GOC side. Sometimes this was individual employees, but other times it was entire divisions and cells that were wiped out. Because of this, all Coalition agents have standing orders to immediately eliminate any members of the Serpent's Hand upon first contact. However, the Coalition is less hostile towards the Chaos Insurgency. Additionally, the GOC management is still unsure of whether or not the insurgents are a separate organization, or whether they're still under the cover of the Foundation. Insurgency agents are regarded as a threat, but response to—
I mean, they're like the SCP and the Serpent's Hand? Serpent's Hand? Their goal kind of— Wait, was it the cases? I don't even know no more. But what I was thinking was like the Serpent's Hands and the SCP Foundation kind of have similar goals. Well, not really similar, but it kind of affects each other, right? Compared to GOC. Because like the Serpent's Hands want to free them, but they don't want to destroy them, right? However, the SCP Foundation, they kind of lock them up, but they're kind of careful when it comes to like terminating them also. But for the GOC, they just want to destroy them. Like straight destroy them. Unless they can't destroy it. But yeah.
Response to them is minimal. If insurgency activity is perceived as excessive, protocol states it must be suppressed, and all anomalous and military equipment is to be confiscated. Interestingly, one of the largest raids on the insurgency was actually carried out by the Coalition solely for political reasons. During this operation, the GOC displayed a certain level of hypocrisy. By way of magic, they teleported the Broken Dagger battle group from Ireland all the way to England,
where
the
magic
Chaos Insurgency training camp was located. There, Coalition officials watched the rebels and had no plans to intervene. That is, at least until they saw captive Philip Anderson brought there. Anderson's a senior official from the Mana Charitable Foundation, an anomalous humanitarian aid organization. It's not that the Coalition necessarily cares about Anderson's fate, but his rescue would help provide leverage in future negotiations. Also, the inclusion of Mana in the Coalition would provide them with additional financing. Broken Dagger shot several insurgency members, set off a couple of bombs, and freed both Anderson and his talking sea slug, Lord Blackwood. Although the
Lord
rebels
Blackwood?
attempted to stop the GOC
Is that SCP
fighters,
also?
no
I want to see that
retaliatory
one.
measures were taken later, mostly due to the disproportionate balance of the two forces. In every other case, the Coalition simply monitors the insurgency's actions to ensure nothing else takes place. The most supportive group towards the Foundation would probably be the Coalition. This is true despite the fact that this organization is technically considered hostile as well, and their desire to place the anomalies in
I did not
containment is seen
expect
as
that.
unethical to the Coalition. Attacking Foundation employees is allowed only with the permission of High Command on a very rare case-by-case basis. Such incidents tend to occur when the Coalition and the Foundation discover a new anomaly right at the same time. In such cases, the GOC's mission is to eliminate the anomalous object preemptively before the Foundation is able to detain it and put it in containment. The Foundation itself,
What's that little
of all the
slime?
organizations, has the greatest dislike for the Chaos Insurgency. And this is understandable, since no one really likes traitors. On the other hand, one of their operations was of such a nature that even some members of the O5 Council admired the way it was executed. The insurgents managed to lead the Foundation around in circles for some time using SCP-884-4. This object is an anomalous shaving mirror. The person who uses it will continually see stubble on his face, and so he shaves over and over again
Over his
until he
face?
ends up injuring
Oh,
himself.
what the
However, those who worked with it at the Foundation were unaware that
That
the mirror
sounds
also
painful.
causes pathological doubts over the long term. The insurgents, on the other hand, were well aware of this. Thus, they intentionally sparked curiosity and interest around the mirror. The insurgents stole the object and then allowed the Foundation to find it again. Curious employees then lined up at this legendary mirror. Many
What
of
happens?
These individuals
Do they
later
get
perished
depressed?
due to the simple fact that they were unable to make a decision at some crucial moment. For example,
Jeez.
one of the researchers drowned in the bathroom, all because he could not make up his mind to get out of it and
Oh,
took too
it-
long in doing so.
Power to
Personally,
doubt.
I believe the insurgents, the
Power
coalition,
to
and the
doubt.
Serpent's Hand have all interfered in the Foundation's business much more than the Foundation itself is aware of. I would assume that with the cap of invisibility, the Serpent's Hand could have theoretically liberated all sentient anomalies a long time ago already.
That's what I'm
However, they did not
thinking.
do this for one reason and one reason only. The Black Queens hold the belief that within the walls of the Foundation, the anomalies will be safer for a while. After all, while the GOC agents have learned how to penetrate the Wanderer's library, they refrain from invading the walls of the Foundation as much. Therefore, the Serpent's Hand regards the imprisonment of humanoids as a temporary trial. Once they succeed in eliminating the Global Occult Coalition, their next target will be the Foundation. And so it turns out that the mere existence of the Coalition is actually beneficial to the Foundation, since it protects them from more aggressive attacks on the part of the Hand. I also think that this hypothesis is rather easy to test. If rumors were to be spread in the anomalous world that the Foundation intends to execute some sentient humanoid, it would most likely disappear from within the walls of the Foundation that very same day, and both the Black Queen and the Serpent's Hand would definitely have been involved. The Global Occult Coalition, in my opinion, is secretly penetrating the organization in order to frame individual senior staff members. After all, the more internal conflicts that exist, the more the Foundation will weaken. That's all for today, and so I'll take my leave. If you'd like more releases on the Global
Okay, that was Chaos. The wait. Yeah, it's by Detective Void, Chaos Insurgency, the Serpent's Hand, and the Global Occult Coalition. Okay, thoughts. I think for this, they're like, for them, like the function for them is like pretty much checks and balances, right? None of them cannot be overpowered, because one group is gonna attack the other ones. They're pretty much like, yeah, they pretty much checks each other, right? But I noticed that for all of them, they're very extremist when it comes to things. I feel like, as like compared to the other groups, the SCP Foundation is the most balanced one compared to the Chaos Insurgency, Serpent's Hands, Global Occult Coalition, right? Because GOC straight up wants to destroy them, right? Like, I don't, we'll see. I'll do more research on this, but by the way I see it, GOCs pretty much want to destroy everything, like all SCPs and stuff like that. Unless they can't destroy it, then they'll do like a diplomatic approach to it. However, the goal is to destroy SCPs, right? No matter what it is. If you can destroy it, destroy it. For the Serpent's Hands, it's more like, oh, free every SCP, right? Like, they want to free all the SCPs, which is dangerous at the same, at the same time. Like, I understand that they want to free SCPs, but at the same time, bro, there are SCPs that can destroy the world. Why would you want to free those? Like, if you, yeah, it just does not make sense to like throw the world into chaos because you want to free all the SCPs. Chaos insurgency is the one that kind of makes sense to me when it comes to like real world kind of thing, which is like using it for your advantage, right? Using the SCP anomalies for your advantage. That's how normal people thinks when it comes to things like this. But yeah, I just don't understand. Are they really extremists, or is this video just making them look like they're extremists? Because like when you see them, they're like they don't have a middle point, you know? Like the groups does not have middle points. However, them all existing in the SCP world kind of balances them all, right? Anyways, that's all. That was the Chaos Insurgency, Serpent's Hand, the Global Occult Coalition by Detective Void. Alright.